Men and women can no longer be charged different rates for insurance. The European Court of Justice has ruled that using gender as a basis for different prices is discriminatory, and so it must stop by December 2012. It will affect pensions, life assurance, critical illness cover and car insurance. The list goes on. The decision means women will now pay more for their insurance, effectively cross-subsidising men whose premiums should fall. Katie Razzle has this.
You won't recognise this woman, but her Belgian consumer group has just changed your life. Today, the highest court in Europe bowed to their campaign for equality, ruling insurers can't charge men and women different prices for their premiums.
We're very happy. For us, it's a historic verdict.
Historic, yes, but costly too. For years, there's been a truth universally acknowledged, that male drivers, particularly young ones, are more of a risk, so they pay more insurance. So the European Court has ruled that his and hers pricing is discriminatory. Most of the insurers we spoke to said they couldn't yet say how that will impact on consumers. But one specialist insurer of young people said that women under 25 could see their premiums go up 50%, while men of the same age would see a drop of 25%.
I think the average for a young 17-year-old lady is probably round about the £1,700 mark, and for a male about £3,400, £3,500. And I would estimate that the female insurance will probably go up towards the £3,000 mark, and the male probably coming down to about the £3,000 mark. It does seem a bit of a surprising ruling based on the fact that insurance is meant to be based on risk.
Well, this is disappointing news for consumers and for the insurance industry today. We've been fighting this for the last decade, but today the European Court has ruled that we're at the end of the road.
So from next year, when the ruling comes into force, forget marketing like this aimed at women. That's good news for all those sensible, safe male drivers who up to now have been penalised. Do you think you're a more risky driver than your female friends, for example?
Nah, some girls drive crazy.
And what about you? How do you drive?
I'm a sensible driver.
So you should pay less?
Yeah, I should pay less.
Well, I think women should get a discount since they're known to be better drivers.
I think it's a shame. I think women should be allowed to be charged less. But what I think is more concerning is that I don't think the premiums will actually go down for men. I think they'll put the women's premiums up and there'll be actually no change for the men's premiums. So I think it's just a win for the insurance companies.
The European ruling doesn't just affect car insurance, but life insurance too. Here, men will be the winners, seeing their premiums fall, while women will lose out as the cost of their cover could rise 20%. When it comes to pensions, at the moment, men get more generous annuities. That's the lifetime income for their pension, because they die younger. But now their rates may be 8% less generous. Women could see theirs worth 6% more.
There will be far more losers than winners, because about 8 out of 10 people buying annuities are men. Many of them may have a wife to support as well. So on balance, this is a problem for UK pensioners in future.
As for UK drivers, they've already been hit. Car insurance rose an inflation-busting 29% last year. Nothing to do with this ruling.
Come on, girls, spread the word. You get a discount of a third.
Perhaps they'll have to change the lyrics. If you're driving more expensively, that's the price of sex equality.
Katie Razzle reporting. Well, joining us now from the Business School at London City University is the President of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, Ronnie Bowie. Ronnie Bowie, can you just... well, this is a very dramatic moment. It is going to cause big seismic shocks across both insurance and pensions. Where do you think the most pain lies?
I think the bit that gets the attention just now are the motor insurance premiums, where the percentages that your piece just showed are widely accepted as being true. The longer term impact will probably be in pensions. As people reach retirement, they need to buy a pension, and the men find that they are not going to get anything like the same pension as they thought, with a reduction of about 10%, which doesn't sound much in the first year, but if you think that man is going to live for 25 years, then that adds up to a very sizable sum of money. So motor insurance is the short-term headline catcher, pensions is the longer-term issue.
Do you think there are significant gains for women, or do you think, knowing the industry as you do, that actually not a lot of it will get passed on and everybody will be on a flat rate?
Well, I think that's the big challenge for the insurance industry. As a statistician, it seems very odd that fairness prevents insurance companies from applying statistical techniques and proven differences in risk profiles. But the reason that British insurance industry is so competitive is that it's been remorselessly innovative, and I think what we'll see is all sorts of other factors being taken into account, more emphasis on the kind of car that people drive, more emphasis on the no claims bonus, and in pensions we'll be looking at factors such as affluence and where people live, which can often matter more than what gender you are. So I think it's a challenge for the insurance industry, it's a competitive industry, and if people don't find ways of getting around this, then they'll lose business. So I think competition is the consumer's friend here.
But you think the potential does exist to get round it, and presumably only by finding out a great deal more about us, particularly when applying for annuities and final pensions?
Well, I think that's right. In some ways, that's down to the insurance companies to come up with new differentiators, but it's also down to us as individuals to decide how much we want to declare. In the US, for example, motorists who allow a monitor to be applied to their cars and can demonstrate that they're safer drivers get lower premiums. I imagine that will quickly come here, and people will need to decide whether they value lower premiums more than their privacy.
Ronnie Bowie, thank you very much indeed for talking with us. The EU looks set to end the practice of fish discards. Currently, hundreds of thousands of tons of fish are thrown back into the sea every year. Fishing boats legally cannot keep all the species they catch because they're governed by the EU quota system. The EU instead wants to see fishing fleets regulated by time rather than species and watched over by CCTV.